strike me as something Riley and Jonesy would get behind.
Buddy, we get behind just about anything.
Hey, you D-Gens. Welcome back to a special episode of How Are You Now? Tiara, how are you now?
Good and you?
Oh, not so bad. Man. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute, and it's kind of weird just because we already did our our season finale, and then we came back and added more to the season. So. But
it happens.
It does.
We were all hoping there would be a holiday episode, and
I wasn't expecting.
Suddenly there
was not expecting one, and there it is. There it was, and we did it. So, a couple of things little business stuff. So. We have, in case you were wondering, we have a Discord, howareyounowpod.com/Discord. We'll get you there. We also have a cosplay contest that's always going on if somebody wants to cosplay, but we haven't done it in a while because nobody seems to want to cosplay. howareyounowpod.com/cosplay. We'll give you all the information there. We also have a phone number if you would like to call us and leave a message, especially if it's a dad joke for Tiara. She loves those. You can get a hold of us at 30450 Ferda, and leave us a message and we'll get you on. Music today is from the band No One Sphere. The music we have today is off of their new album they just put out like last week. Our intro song was Where Was I by them. Go check them out. They're on Bandcamp and lots of other places and all the things. So, and they've been awesome. We've had them on the show a number of times. And so, yeah, we really want to promote our indie musicians. We have a new guest, a brand new guest, a brand new fan of the show.
What?
Everybody welcome Erin. Oh,
no.
Erin, how are you now?
Oh, good, and you?
Oh, not so bad. See,
Nice
you
job.
were worried right out of the gate. You got it right. So, Erin, tell us how you became a fan of Letterkenny.
I've actually been a fan since it started. I live in Tahoe, America.
Yeah.
So we don't get Crave here.
Right.
But obviously Hulu, and I saw a commercial or an ad for it on Hulu. I think it was actually the first kind of cold open that Wayne did when he was talking about his sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole ad was just Wayne talking about that, and I was like, I have to check out the show. So
like our buddy Awesome is giving some comments. So she's just saying hi. So anyway, go ahead.
Hi, Awesome. But yeah, that's I was like, oh well, this show looks hilarious, just from that little bit that I saw, and so I checked it out. It was awesome, and I've been watching it ever since. And I think that was a few years ago. It's been.
When did it hit the U.S.? I can't remember.
I want to.
When did it happen?
So yeah, Awesome. I know you're there. When did the show hit the U.S.? I want to say it was like, was it 2016 or 2018?
Well, I mean, we started watching it before it 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 2018. I thought it was
2016.
So yeah,
sounds about
it
like
started.
when we
It
found
started in 2016
and
when we went to Canada to watch.
Yeah, we would go. We would drive up to Canada.
Would drive to Canada to watch.
To watch
Letterkenny.
those. Back before
awesome.
It was available on Hulu. So, yeah, because
Also, Awesome says hello, by the way.
Hi.
So, and how did you find us?
I honestly, I was kind of bored one day, and I was
Usually how it happens, yeah.
Yeah.
cruising around on Twitter, and I was just like, okay, who does like Letterkenny follow? Because I was like I still like. I'm obsessed with the show, but I had just finished watching. I think it was last season. I was like midway through last season. I was like, who do they follow? Like, who should I follow that they follow? Like, and so I discovered your podcast, and you guys are freaking hilarious.
I think
that's all Dean in the weeds. So.
I have no. I'm humorless.
You're the quote unquote straight man of the couple. So.
I'm completely
Good old electric
humorless.
lettuce.
That's that one. She's over there.
I'm over there.
There you are. She's over there, but she's actually over there from me.
Right. Like he's over there, but also over there. There we go.
Do it. Wait, here you go. High five. Can we do it?
This way. Almost. Yeah, we did it. Okay.
Nailed it.
I could just pat Aaron's head. That's about all I could do there. So, but yeah. Well, thank you for following us and being an awesome follower. It's great meeting new people, especially the wonderful people who love Letterkenny like we do.
Oh yeah.
Now let's before we get into last time on How Are You Now, let's talk a bit about Letterkenny Live, shall we? So TR and I went to Letterkenny Live.
No spoilers or anything like that.
We're not going to give any spoilers.
If you haven't gone to the live show yet, and it's touring in your area soon.
Yeah. So during the time that we were in Seattle for Letterkenny Live, we got to meet Jared Kiso. And now there was a question that I asked way back. Our first interview was Tyler Johnston. Mm-hmm. And there was a question that I asked him. I said, who's the kindest person you ever met? And he said, Jared Kiso. Mm-hmm. And I can confirm that that's true.
Absolutely.
So we got to meet him. So I came in to shake his hand, and he was like, "No, man," and he comes in for the hug.
No.
What?
No.
No.
That's the part we're not allowed to talk about, my dear.
No, we can talk about that.
No.
The part. Yeah, we can't. What? All right. I thought it was something.
You're gonna get in trouble. That's getting edited. No, it wasn't a state secret that we got to meet him. We got to meet him. It was awesome. Everything was fine.
I'll explain.
Yes.
My version of things later. So, but anyway, wonderful guy. But one of the things, it was just brief, but quick little chat with him, and yeah, he was great. Now, one of the things that we got while we were at Letterkenny Live, because I got VIP tickets, was this, which is the Letterkenny episode number 1 pilot draft that was bound and signed by everybody that's on the live. Now, while we were waiting, I was sitting in there just kind of reading through this, and looking at the script, and I'm like, some of this is different. And I thought, it'd be fun. Let's do a table read of this. So this Thursday, we are going to be doing our first rehearsal in collaboration with our good buds over at the Produce Stand. Awesome will also be joining us. Dennis Guggen will be joining us. Demond from Demond Does will be joining us, and Brian Tam is the understudy for the group. We're on a week from this coming Thursday. So basically, this generally comes out on a Thursday. If I end up putting this episode out on Thursday, a week from now, you will get to watch us do the live table read in this environment. So I'm really looking forward to that. So everything has been just from Letterkenny Live has been amazing, and I think the plan is, depending upon how this one goes, we're going to do these once a month.
Yeah.
And so we'll do live table reads. I will
Pick our favorite episodes. Maybe have a poll about like which one we should do next or something like that.
So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So last time on How Are You Now, we had our season 10 recap show, where we had Al on from Produce Stand, because I'm always on their end of season shows. He was on ours, and we had a great chat. So yeah. Anyway, it's been out for a while now, so you've seen it. We just talked about all our favorite stuff from season 10 that we knew at the time. Now we know there's another episode, and it is season 10, episode 7. Now, out on Hulu, I don't know how it's listed on Crave. It's just listed as special. So, if you look at Hulu, if you look at IMDb, it's listed as special.
And in addition, I have a friend in Australia who says that because they don't have all of the episodes, they only have the second half, I guess. Something's going on with Australia. They're not getting all of the episodes yet, but they've got International Women's Day, and it's something like at the end of season 7 or something on whatever that streaming service was. Yeah. She was basically went through looking for it and found the International Women's Day episode in there. So Australia, if you've been wondering, you do at least have one other one in there somewhere.
I'm sure they're probably driving to Canada as well. So.
Right.
That's what I'd be doing anyway.
As one does.
Yes. So let's get into the deep dive. That is season 10, episode 7, International Women's Day. So we start off at the Ag Hall, where there are a bunch of Letterkenny women on the stage. Gail and Tanis greet one another and talk about the bro dude gal, Emma, and Tanis that are really working each other. Emma then comes out to quiet the ladies in the crowd down to let them know that for International Women's Day, they will be hosting an anti-beauty pageant.
The contest meant to empower women by having you do the exact opposite of what you'd be asked to do in a traditional beauty pageant.
So, after that, she explains the rules. The prizes, and then hands it over to Bonnie McMurray to run the show. Bonnie then introduces the judges, Katie, Rosie, and Emma. She then introduces the contestants, Marianne, Lucy Ann, Gail, Tanis, Mia Sophia, and Mrs. McMurray. From there, we cut to Modine's, where Wayne, Derry, and McMurray are all sitting around a table, talking about playing a game of cribbage that McMurray thought they were going to have a 4-hander, but Wayne prefers a 3-hander. But Dan's not there because he got caught up in his women's studies class. Just then, Jim Dickens walks in and is immediately followed by Riley and Jonesy, Stuart and Rold, and Dan. Dan is super excited because he has brought Professor Tricia to come to talk to them for International Women's Day. Just then, the front door chimes and Professor Tricia walks in. Slow motion. She's carrying a briefcase. Everyone is stunned by how pretty she is. She then gets and says that she's found this briefcase in the parking lot and makes fun of people for carrying them as being in the CIA, and that if you're in the CIA, you have to tell her, otherwise it's entrapment. From there, we cut back to the Ag Hall. The contest is starting with the first event, least congenial thing you've ever done. So basically, it is a one-ups womanship of the worst things that they've done. Marianne starts up talking about how all their periods synced up in 2007 at the store, just couldn't keep up with demand, and how she had to use socks. The stories continued in the same vein with Lucy Ann and Gail. Tanis then talks about how she got kicked out of Canada's Wonderland for taking a header into an in-use baby's changing station. Mia Sophia talks about how she took a shit in a Tupperware on a long car ride. Then Mrs. McMurray has this little...
I once froze my own shit in a condom because a gal told me she was interested in putting it up herself. It's my first Alaskan pipeline. Would not be my last.
So, the stories continue with self-given dirty Sanchez's, Mississippi bird baths, ramen yarmulkes, Spanish breakfast hot Richards bukkakis, and then this gem from Marianne.
I once fucked a guy on a campsite who looked like a UTI waiting to happen. So I preemptively stole $40 from his wallet to pay for the meds. I didn't end up getting a UTI, so I used the money to go to a water park. where I got a UTI.
I love Jess Salguero so much.
So much.
So anyway, the stories continue with face farts, queefs, ending with Mrs. McMurray admitting to fucking the ginger and Boots, and that they fucked an ostrich. Round one goes to Mrs. McMurray.
Oh, you're going to talk about that.
From there, we cut back to Modine's, where Professor Tricia welcomes all the fellas. She explains that Dan has asked her to come to talk to him for International Women's Day, but she doesn't want to be in her work clothes anymore. So she begins unpacking her casual clothes, stripping down and changing into them, all while explaining that she's going to have each one of them come up and talk about a woman that they admire. She gets the ball rolling by talking about Lizzie Sear, a woman who gave a man the clap in 1917. The man snitched and she was convicted of vagrancy. However, the case was argued that that the women magistrate who convicted her didn't have the right to, because as a woman, she wasn't considered a person at that time. This is under the British North America Act. This led to women being officially considered people. From there, she calls Rolled Up for his presentation. He presents, of course, Celine Dion. After that, are Riley and Jonesy. They come up and give their presentations of their Tinderellas. Everything is going swimmingly for them until they're talking about their butts as shitters. And then Dan has something to say.
That's offensive to women.
Nah.
Nah?
And that's a good lesson. You see, women are unique, complex individuals. They ain't all the same. What some women find offensive, other women don't find offensive at all. Now, do you think those girls posted photos of themselves not wanting people to look at them? There are many avenues to female empowerment. For some, displaying the body is one. Not sure they'd appreciate their butts in those yoga pants being called shitters, but I could be wrong.
So, back at the Ag Hall, we're now moving into event number 2, Filthiest Mouth Competition. This event is all about chirping at each other. They all chirp at each other about who has the worst mitt. That's pretty much the entire chirping. Mrs. McMurray then finishes things off with,
Your mitt smells so shitty. Dudes need to light a match before they leave the room.
that, my friends, is the winning chirp. So, from there, we go back to Modine's, where Dan is then presenting his admiration of Kim Cattrall, even though he's very much a Charlotte. Afterwards, McMurray comes up to present Mrs. McMurray as the woman he admires most. It's because of her liberal views on sex. She lets me fuck other women. Professor Tricia helps him clarify that it's more than just that. He also she respects his needs and is a good communicator. Back at the Ag Hall for the final event, the tackiest dress. This portion of the contest is all done as a music montage with the women all coming out in their accoutrement.
Various awesomeness.
Yeah, and all looking amazing. Back at Modine's then, after that, we are at the presentation. Modine's is doing his presentation of Roberta Bondar. Wayne is extremely hyped about that. As soon as he's done, he has everybody stand up and applaud for Bondar.
Fucking Bondar.
Fucking Bondar. Fucking right, it's Bondar.
Fucking Bondar. Fucking Bondar.
So from there, Stuart is up next. He presents soccer player Christine Sinclair as the woman he most admires. Followed by Stuart is Jim Dickens, who could not just pick one, so he's presented a list of women alphabetically in his unique auctioneer style. From there, we cut back to the Ag Hall, where they have crowned Mrs. McMurray as the first ever Bro Dude Miss Modeniality pageant winner. She, of course, gives a drunk, meandering acceptance speech where she recounts how all the women there shared with each other during the great period sink of 07. Finally, back at Modine's, Wayne comes to present the woman he admires most, Katie. Wayne is very emotional about how much he admires Miss Katie's.
Like it comes no surprise to you that I picked. Like it comes no surprise to you that I picked my sister. I picked my sister Katie, so I do just about anything for her, but she do just about anything for me, so we always been there for each other, so.
You make a habit of telling her that from time to time?
Not likely doesn't do either of us any good if I don't tell her that from time to time, so... Otherwise, like, how's she gonna know, but... So I guess better go do that now.
So Wayne then
just
heads
leaves.
out. Yeah, he just leaves, and then McMurray and the rest of
love
them
it.
all jump to head right after him. She wishes all the boys well, and as they take off. Finally, back at the Ag Hall, Wayne shows up and tells Katie exactly how he feels.
Hey, Katie. You wanna what? I just want to say thanks for everything that you do for me, because if I do just about anything for you, why don't you do just about anything for me? But I guess it doesn't do either of us any good if we don't tell each other that from time to time, so... Happy International Women's Day.
Then Katie then comes over and gives a huge hug to Wayne. She's followed immediately by Rosie, Derry, and Dan. In the huge group hug, they fade out. Such.
I love it. I love it so much.
Oh my God, such a great episode. I honestly.
Oh, there's so much in this episode.
Oh man,
There really is.
it
really is.
It was great. I mean, Nazneen Contractor as Professor Trisha was brilliant. She is gorgeous. I'm fairly certain that she is. Oh God, she's tiny. She's tinier than Rolled.
Yeah,
That's how tiny she was.
And
Is she
in real
really?
life,
Oh yeah,
Rolled
she was a
is-
good couple inches shorter than Rolled
oh,
even.
tiny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she looks short, like small in the.
Well, when
in
she
the-
first comes in, she's
on the
wearing
show.
heels.
When she puts on the tennis shoes look like. I'll be absolutely honest. You know, I was an elementary
baby
school
shoes.
teacher. Yeah. I won't say baby shoes, but they were like the same size as elementary school students. And like, I totally understand. My feet stopped growing when I was probably in like 6th grade, but I had giant feet for a 6th grader. I bet her feet were giant for a 4th or 5th grader, and then they stopped there. Like,
Oh, we love her though.
She was short. She was short and
mom
had
has
tiny,
tiny
but
feet,
she
too.
but she was adorable and she was brilliant. Great. I mean,
She really was.
I mean, and if you compare her to the teacher Trisha and Letterkenny, I would say that's pretty damn close. So I don't know if that's canon or not, but it's at least headcanon for me as I see it.
I've seen Letterkenny, but I don't think I've seen enough of it to really place her, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she's the only teacher that's in the episode. So
and you only see her like once.
yeah,
twice,
a couple
so.
times. Yeah, so
Brown hair and a high ponytail.
and darker skin.
Brown nurse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's her. Okay.
That's all I can really remember about her though myself.
Yeah. So yeah. I think she was brilliant.
I know that a lot of hate actually got stirred up because of the representation of Professor Trisha in this, and we don't need to get into that because like we kind of really got into it on the other podcast about it. So like if you want to know how I feel about that and how a lot of other women in the Letterkenny community feel about it, because it was a very mixed reaction, you should go check out the ladies' International Women's Day episode of
the produce
stand. It was a lot of fun being on that show, and it was really nice to have kind of a really heated discussion about Letterkenny.
Yeah, I thought she was great, and I think it's what she said about everything that she said was spot on. Because I'll let you guys
I've
take
been
over.
waiting
So yeah,
for
go
years
ahead.
for someone to tell Dan that he didn't need to be offended on someone else's behalf.
Right.
Like, that is my biggest pet peeve in humanity as a whole. You know, you don't need to be offended on my behalf. All of that, like, that's my biggest takeaway out of last night with all those people so fake outraged about, a slap, that literally I'm like, can you do you have to comment on everything? Does it need to like I don't know.
Right.
There's a level of empathy that is just missing with most humans. I've noticed this lately.
I agree. And just talking about last night really briefly, I didn't see it, but I know that he was making fun of her for alopecia,
which is an autoimmune disorder.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people who have that, and I don't think that him making fun of it, it wasn't a GI Jane joke, like he said. It was a GI Jane joke. Like, no,
he wrapped it in a GI Jane joke.
He wrapped it in a GI Jane joke. Exactly.
Exactly.
Like, who that is younger than me in my 40s is gonna remember GI Jane as something positive, considering like Demi Moore has been very open about the abuse that she suffered from people who like hurled shit at her for shaving her head, and it wasn't even like just losing her hair. Like, I posted something I retweeted something on Twitter about a young girl who killed herself recently because she had been bullied for her whole life for having alopecia and essentially having no hair. And it's like, this is not just a one-time thing. Like, this is my guess, especially with how passionate he got about that and the way that she's been talking so much about it more, is something fucking happened recently with this that made her decide to shave her head for good. And like, you don't talk about someone's health, man.
Yeah.
And she's been open about it. She's talked about it on like so many different things. I don't pay any attention to them, and I still knew. Like, you don't do that. You don't talk about a black woman's hair, and you especially do not talk about a black woman losing her hair. That's not okay. Don't fucking do it. And Chris Rock did a fucking documentary about black women's hair. He knows this.
Why would I?
Sorry, totally off.
Yeah, we're all. You were like, do it.
Dean likes it when I get a little.
But it's important to talk about. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's important. It's just awful.
Yeah.
And I don't.
But
no, I'm not gonna point fingers. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna point fingers. And be like, well, he was wrong for doing this, and he was wrong for doing that. It's like, don't say shit about it.
There's no need to talk about it.
Yeah.
There's no need. Let's just move on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. For real.
But yeah, I mean, because if you want to talk about this in context of Letterkenny, I mean, you can go back to the very beginning, where where Wayne basically came up and number one, he slapped Troy back behind for kicking Alexander in the trash while he was pissing,
for making fun of someone's disability.
Yeah, that was one thing, and then when he turned around, he then Troy doubled down by talking about Katie. Well, he just, how did that end up for Troy? Troy ended up in the fucking trash after Wayne grabbed him by the balls, headbutted him, and beat the shit out of him. So, and that would not be the first time that happened. So, if you're a Letterkenny fan, you are well aware of this. So,
yeah, and like every black person who is seeing their white friends fake outrage right now is going to remember it. I have a few friends that I was very surprised at their reactions, and they very much know now how I feel about that. Yeah. So, but anyway, so biggest pet peeve in the world, obviously.
Yeah.
It's something that comes up constantly. It's what basically trending shit, like whenever something outrageous happens and I'm so offended, think of the children. It's like, no, fuck you. Like, let's not do this. And Dan definitely is that character where in the beginning he was very earnest about everything, but then he became that guy that gets offended on everyone else's behalf. And that was kind of getting to me.
Yeah.
As I think I've mentioned it
Oh,
before.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, which is understandable. I mean, when you're the only one, especially in that
Yes.
town. I think.
Yeah.
I think he probably
Well,
he
he's
would-
excited that he's learning this and
yeah,
that
and he wants to share. He
And
wants,
to share. Yeah.
he wants.
He's not doing any of it kind of from like an "I told you" show point of view.
No.
It's more like, well,
Yeah,
this
there's no
is what I've
malice.
learned,
Well,
and I've evolved. So
Right. And if you look at it in his "that's offensive to women" part where she says nah, and he's like nah, and he didn't argue. He just said nah, and then,
sat down.
and sat down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he thinks he's doing the right thing, and I think Professor Tricia appreciates that very much. But he's willing to accept the lessons that he learns. So I think that's a good thing about Dan for sure.
I really love the interaction between Professor Tricia and Dan because
Me
it's
too.
obvious like that was such a great writing of a teacher who has a teacher's pet who's like, yes, I know that you're raising your hand. I'm going to go ahead and start for everybody else. And then, no, I'm not going to pick you because I know you're going to answer. It's okay. I want to encourage everyone else to answer. Thank you for your contribution.
Right.
Like 100% like teacher mode. Whoever wrote that scene like is close to a teacher because that is shit that like
And I will
most
say,
people don't think about the fact that like the kid annoys the teacher.
and I also want to point this out
Exactly.
that two women wrote this episode. So this is not. I mean, yes, Tierney was involved
and Kiso.
and Kisa, but this episode was written by two women.
Yep.
So
Yeah. And
there
that's
she goes.
The greatest part about it. in my
And
opinion.
yeah, and I know we're not all going to agree on how best to do our things. Whether that's being an ally or whatever it happens to be. I mean, I'm a cis able-bodied man, so yeah, my job is really ally. That's so. But
You keep me safe and make sure I drink water at least once a week.
yeah, I try to feed you
At
vegetables.
least 1
You
week.
try. At least once a week. He makes sure.
So,
No, it's more than that.
but yeah, I appreciate Dan, and because that's one of the things that I try to I don't say like that I'm like Dan, but I kind of have that passion to help those that need help. So that if you don't need help, then that's that kind of gets to Wayne's part of if a friend asks for help, you help them. And, if they don't ask for help, then
Yep.
then maybe they don't need your help.
Right.
Sometimes your friends need help, and they don't know how to ask. So just be mindful. That's it. Be mindful. Be empathetic. That's how I see it.
Yes.
I could be wrong. Now, real quick, I'm going to bring this up.
Yes.
That Awesome popped in. She said, Australia has all the episodes, but for some reason, SBS has elected to go by production order numbering rather than broadcast order numbering.
So somehow that screws it up then when you try to watch the episodes, and that's why you can't find all of them and in order or in the right order.
Whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All
I'll
right.
definitely pass that on to my friend.
Yeah. So, thoughts on the on the talent or not the talent show, the what was it, the Miss Bodiniality pageant? What was your take on that?
Good.
Oh, me first. Oh,
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's okay.
charging
That's all
my
good.
phone. It's dying. It's at 8%. So I'm like,
Ah.
oh,
Very important. Yes.
cheese and rice. Please stand by.
Well, TR, while she's
That's
doing
what
that, why
happens
don't you
in
why
life.
don't you go ahead and jump in with your take on the pageant?
So, I love that it was a very Letterkenny beauty pageant. It wasn't about, because there's always talk on, let's say, Reddit about all these beautiful women and how beautiful they are and how they're so beautiful, but it's never about how fucking funny they are and how they are comedians and they are not like just what they look like. And so I love that. I also love that my housemate, our housemate, watched it with me, and they haven't finished watching the whole series, so they're nowhere near caught up. But they know who everyone is, and I can't remember what season they've gotten to. But watching International Women's Day episode with me, they started laughing real quick because apparently when they were back in college, they organized something very similar at their university, and I just love the idea that there is stuff like that in real life out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
That was very cool. So go ahead, Go ahead, Aaron.
For me personally, I really liked the camaraderie that the women kind of shared. Like there was so often in media you see these women who are fighting like high school girls, like just like the mean girls, just like cat fighting, and there was none of that. And I really, really loved that aspect of it personally.
Yeah.
It's ragging
and
on
they were
each other
hilarious.
as like they are all in on the joke, so
Oh, yeah.
it's not insulting.
Yeah, like they were all
insulting each other.
Yeah, like
they,
with
they were
Marianne-
chirping at each other, but it wasn't like catty. It
Malicious.
wasn't
Yeah.
like malicious. It was just like it was funny as
yeah,
hell.
well, they knew what they were. So yeah, it was like the part where Lucy Ann says, "How does it feel that I get more hugs from your dad than you do?" And then Marianne fist bumps her for that one. So that was good.
Yeah.
Fist
I loved
One of
it.
one of my favorite things about it was like Tanis got really excited a couple of times. Like she's like, "Oh, I got a good one. Yeah, yeah, okay. Is it my turn? Okay." And then she would stand up and she'd be like, "Okay."
I love that. I love that she stood up. Like she just stood up. She was like, and she like flattened her dress out and like. Hi.
So who in your opinion should have won round one? So that's
oh,
the
I'm
that's
sorry,
the
go
that
ahead.
no, it's okay. That's the one ups womanship. So about who's the grossest.
I mean,
Essentially.
I think the one who won that one should have won that one.
I agree. Yeah, Mrs. McMurray.
This actually brings up a question I brought up. I don't know if it was talking to the podcast, the other podcaster on the after party, but okay, so she's confessing to sleeping with Ginger in the boots, and she knows they fucked an ostrich. Does that mean that she was the third person helping them fuck the ostrich? Like, was she there? Is that why she knows? Did she fuck them and like did she let them fuck her and then they fucked the ostrich
Maybe
in
she
front
was
of her?
maybe she was on the ostrich.
Maybe she was riding the ostrich, right? Like,
But wasn't the ostrich sick?
right. Which, you know, if the ostrich was sick, maybe it was just the two of them. But like 3 people makes more sense. And I mean, she knew. Nobody else knew.
Nope.
And why didn't they know? Because they weren't there. Does that mean she was there?
And
Yeah, she definitely won that one.
and I mean, so if you think about it, the rumor had to have started with her, right?
If she was there and she knew it happened.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
I believe that. She probably got really drunk and like said something out loud and someone was like, "Did she just say the Ginger in boots fucked an ostrich?" And there you go.
there you go.
Bad
There you go.
bad gas travels fast.
Yep, that's right. So
That's
Aaron,
well found, indeed.
do you concur with that, or do you have a different winner for round one?
I think it's gosh, I forget if it was that round or the next one where Gail talked about being on a hay bale.
Yeah, that's this one.
That's this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's my pick.
Okay. All right.
Told everyone she was sunbathing.
So then round two is the chirps. Now, in my opinion, Marianne takes this hands down. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think Mrs. McMurray's second one was funnier than the one that she won on. That was the one about the report cards. I thought that was funnier and would have been kind of, but I didn't think the one that she won on was as funny as the reaction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because
I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was so the last one. Yeah, her last one was
Mitt smells so shitty.
yeah.
Dudes need to light a match before they leave the room.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's funny, but that wasn't the gross, like,
Yeah, that's there's I
the cut that it's, some of the other ones really were.
I don't know. I'm with Gaylor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's what we do. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm with Gaylor. I'm sticking with Gaylor.
All right.
Hers were amazing.
And then the tackiest dress. Now, Mrs. McMurray's dress, I think, was fine. Actually, she probably had one of the nicer dresses of the group.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And Mia Sophia as well. I mean, the only Mia Sophia
didn't make sense to me. Sophia's did not.
The only thing you could say about Mia Sophia's is how it may have been undersized for her by a little bit. I mean, it was definitely shorter than probably what you would normally see, but tacky wise,
I think she was going for tacky in like the gold lame, barely wearing like stripper kind of way, but. Like if that's kind of what they were going for, we need some of those like plastic platform shoes that are like that high, because the dress works in that kind of context.
Sure.
If you kind of, you gotta do it a little bit more. You gotta dig into it a little more than just barely a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, like get some clear heels. It's gonna be good.
Right.
Exactly.
And then you gotta lay on the floor and.
It sounds like a horse
Make
is
it
walking
work.
by.
Yes.
Oh man, I kind of missed it.
Yeah, come out to Portland. We've got the strip clubs.
Yeah, once we can breathe the air.
So yeah, I honestly, out of the tacky dresses, I mean, choose either one of Marianne or Lucienne. I think.
Yeah.
Or Tanis's. Tanis's with the fur lined taffeta, whatever the hell that was.
So like one of the things that I loved about it was just how. Like Marianne in the like business suit prom dress, and then the what was the Lucienne in another business suit prom dress, the big the big 80s shoulder pads.
The shoulder pads.
And then Tanis is in an 80s prom dress with like the bright colors wrapped around her and the big hair, which was amazing. The big hair was just like, I loved it. I loved all the big hair. Gail wore something that I probably would wear. Maybe not the hat.
She looked good.
But like,
a
short dress and combat boots, like fuck,
Hell
that's
yeah.
summer for me,
That
man.
was hot.
Come on.
That was hot.
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
didn't like that. Like I wouldn't wear that, but I would probably actually.
I would wear that. I don't.
But,
I don't
like,
have the
that
waist
wasn't-
for. Anyway.
No, me neither. but like that, I would probably. I'd wear that. It wasn't tacky, in my opinion. It wasn't like.
It's kind of
I mean,
sporty,
it was.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
A little sporty, a little gothy, kind of a little.
Yeah, she had
Sport
like a.
goth.
Yeah, she had like some sporty spice going on. It was. Ooh, I like
Awesome
Canton
coming back and saying, "What did I miss?"
Also went to dinner, and now she's back.
Everything awesome. You missed everything.
Yeah, we had an interview with the entire cast. Awesome. They were all in.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'm
So-
going with Candace.
right.
I think that hers was. I loved it. I thought it was so beautiful and gaudy and tacky and just so wonderful. So that's my choice.
So your overall would have been Gail. Then in that case for Aaron, right? So because
Yep.
round 1 and 2, you was Gail. So for you, T, who was would have been your overall?
So my round 1, I would have given to
Mrs. McMurray, yeah.
Round 2, probably.
Chirpin'.
Like if I'm only picking one, I would probably pick Marianne.
All right.
And then in the outfit, I kind of want to go with Marianne again. Her
Yeah.
hair was just, it just was.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to put my hands in it.
They would be stuck because it looked like it was full of Aquanet.
I think so.
Yeah, that hair was
like,
something else,
For
man.
you, for you kids, Aquanet was a hairspray that was used.
So I guess my overall would probably be Marianne.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I thought Marianne was awesome. I mean, granted, I am biased, so.
Oh, and for those who don't know, we didn't mention it before. I don't think I mentioned it on the other show, but I might have. The reason why Betty Ann was off is because she's filming, the actress is filming League of Her Own.
Right.
League of Their Own right now.
Right.
Like, has a starring role in a League
On
of
Amazon
Her Own.
Prime, yeah. Kelly McCormack.
Thank you.
That's
Kelly McCormack.
awesome.
So
that's
that
awesome.
that
Good
is
for
why she was
her.
unable to
Yeah.
be in that
Ooh.
episode.
Yeah, she told us about this like 2 years ago when we
Yeah.
interviewed her. So
Right?
it
I actually
was-
forgotten about that because we interviewed her so long ago.
Yeah. So
That's
and,
awesome.
and production on that got delayed because of the COVID. So,
This shit.
so let me ask you this: which who would you what woman do you admire most, Aaron? Whose tires you pumping?
For who was in the contest or just overall?
Just you,
No,
just for you,
man,
your
you're-
own personal,
You should have made me think of this earlier.
your own.
Oh,
I wanted to get you on your toes.
Who? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking.
No,
a little high.
it's okay. It's so is someone else.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm drinking. This is water. I promise.
So who would
what
you say
woman?
your own personal? Who do you pump tires for?
Wow, there are so many.
Right?
I think Amelia Earhart, because of what she did for aviation and just her courage and her strength and everything. So her is probably my idol. I try not to idolize people, but she's my woman. And obviously my mom.
All right then.
And
all right.
yeah. So my mom and Amelia Earhart. That sounds
Okay.
so stupid, but
No, those are great. I
true.
mean, yeah, no. T, what about you?
This is terrible. I'm so bad with people's names. I'm literally like sitting here trying to rack my brain on like any one of the hundreds of amazing women that I follow closely on Twitter because they give me life that because I can't go out and be the people that they are. Like I feel like I need to name off my Twitter who I follow list.
Well, I mean, I would say probably
like Imani Gandhi and
Joy
Nicole
Reid.
Hannah-Jones.
I know you
Joy Reid is
love
awesome.
Joy Reid.
Yeah, big shout out to people who are breaking barriers on things like MSNBC where you're wearing your natural hair. I fucking love that shit. Like, there are so many amazing people in general, like, and because I have so little trust of like people being who they show me to be these days, like everyone I can think of is probably somebody I follow on Twitter. Like Nicole Hannah-Jones, I'll go with that one right now.
Yeah, she's a good one.
The woman who did the 1619 project and like, yeah, we'll go with her. She's amazing, and she is putting up with some shit that, like, she is putting up with 200 years worth of discrimination in the form of the legislation of several states, literally making these laws that only apply to her work, which is it's fucking master's course, not anywhere else in. But anyway, yes, that's a good one. We'll go with that right now.
All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
No.
I thought of a few others.
Go for it. Let's hear them.
On the spot, I was like, my mom and Amelia Earhart.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But AOC.
Yes.
Anyone who is fighting for gay rights, trans rights, anyone like that. I'm such a big supporter of the LGBT, the gay community.
Alphabet Mafia.
Sorry.
I like to say
Yes.
the quilt bag.
The quilt bag.
That's my favorite.
Yes.
I don't know if that's like anywhere else, but I keep saying it's the quilt bag. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Makes it easier than trying to say a bunch of letters in a row.
LGBTQ.
Like,
If you say
oh,
a phrase that has all those letters in it.
LGBTQ.
I'm such a big supporter of the quilt bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyone who's supporting and fighting for the rights of those people, and I'm getting emotional.
It's
Oh,
all right.
okay.
That's good. That I get emotional as well. I mean, it's I admire Tiara every day, and this everything that she goes through and the stuff that she's gone through to make it here. I completely admire her. I'm completely enamored and fascinated at how she does everything that she does, and she doesn't feel like she does, but she is awesome, and she makes me one of the happiest people on the planet. So,
You're so gross. Stop it.
and then aside from that would be Hedy Lamarr.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Not Headley.
Not Headley. In 100 years, you can sue her. But yeah, when I can see what you're doing what you've done, the things that you've accomplished, even though you've really struggled, that's impressive, and it's amazing because I don't know how I don't think I could have even come close. So I get out here and I make silly podcasts, and in order to say the things that I want to say, but really it's because I want to have people get their voices out. So, and because that's the thing I can do is I can get voices out there. Mm-hmm. And I will find a way.
You also are my mouth on Twitter. So anytime there's something that I'm like, I don't have the spoons for this argument. Hey, babe, here's someone who says this thing that is like, a core belief is wrong.
Ask them for their address. So
we won't come find you. It's fine.
It'd be like Jay and Silent Bob at the end of was that Clerks 2? Or whatever. No, it wasn't Clerks 2. It was.
Hell yeah.
Well, which one was that? Was it where they go get all the addresses? Was that Dogma?
Where they get all the addresses and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Oh, that's what it was. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
That one.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I was like, wait a second.
It's been so long.
25 years ago. Processing.
Yeah. So they get the list of addresses of everybody who's left shitty comments about them, and they go beat them up.
Oh man, Jay and Silent Bob. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Like, okay.
37 in a
just
row?
Real quick, can we just like highlight the fact that that is the most amazing bromance that has ever happened, and like they are still friends
Kevin
to this
Smith
day, like
and Jason
best
Mewes,
friends. Like they went hiking the other day. Like Jason Mewes went with Kevin Smith because Kevin Smith didn't have anyone to go with, so they hung out, went for a hike. I'm like, I need more friends like that right now. Like, come on.
I'll go hiking with you.
Are you local?
But you can't.
I live in
unless you're hiking in LA.
LA. Hiking in LA is a little different.
LA.
Hiking in LA is so different. It's like a different atmosphere.
Sorry.
But after
and
you
now
get
got
your
the sun.
tacos.
Nobody walks in LA.
Seriously. Yeah. I don't walk in Portland, so.
I need to get out of the house, so I need to start walking more.
So what else? What else y'all got? What you got, T?
Okay. So I'm just gonna rapid fire a bunch of stuff.
Get after it.
What I do is I just write down
Better
notes usually. Tanis's hickeys get better every episode. No one reacting to getting bro dude as part of the prize was just amazing. Them just sitting there silently, not even a pity clap. Why did Rosie get the biggest applause when she was introduced?
I didn't notice that.
Yes, there was another part of the very beginning.
I think it's because of how she was introduced.
Tamed the
tamed the toughest guy in Letterkenny.
So in the beginning, there was another thing that kind of like, when Bonnie was introducing the ladies, she skipped Gail and then went back to her as the last one.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a little
I saw
weird.
That too.
I wasn't sure if that was something that I missed.
I think it may have had to do with the Miss Modiniality part of it. So maybe she got announced last because she was involved with the naming of the pageant.
By the way, awesome. I'm not in
Possibly.
any way. You should put the both of those. Yes, Rosie is absolutely their hero.
Oh.
Because everybody wants. That's
This
it,
is Peg
right there.
Frost.
I do not in any way mean to erase the Peg Frost friendship because they are like England's amazing.
They're
bromance.
the
Like, they're
the
great.
British Kevin Smith,
Yes,
Jason Mewes.
exactly. The two of them have
'Cause
their
it's
series of movies. The
It's
two of
probably
these
been
ones
about
have
the
their
same.
series of movies, yeah.
Probably the same length of time, I'm sure.
Oh no, I think. Well, I don't know.
'Cause
How
they're
long did they know each other
They're
before?
all about the same age. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
because they
probably
were in Spaced together. I think was the first
Right.
thing. So yeah, it was probably right
Shit,
around the
that
same
was-
time.
Spaced was probably right around the time that Clerks came out.
Yeah.
There's no. Which
There's-
one?
There's,
In
in
the-
which
in
which
the
one?
Peg Frost?
Peg Frost. Well, someone's
I
like.
believe that.
I mean, someone wants to get pegged. So
Yeah, those are the conversations that usually happen. Anyway, let's see. Actually, this is for awesome because this was a conversation that we had that on the other thing we were all confused as to how the bar could be open, but there was no bartender there, and like Awesome thought the bar had to be open because they were there drinking, but the bar is attached to wherever the pageant was happening. It was the same music when they were standing in the bar to talk to Katie, which means that those are
so
the
that means
one
Modine's
building's-
that means Modine's would have to be connected to the Ag Hall because I think that's
exactly that's my point that I was getting to. So in that case, it doesn't have to be open because Gail is sitting right there in the pageant. It's open for them to go and have a beer. She's okay with that because she knows she can trust them.
well, yeah. I mean, she.
And the original.
Oh, so my
guys
bad.
thought-
The pageant was at the Ukrainian Center. I thought for some reason I thought it was the Ag Hall.
So then
my
the
bad.
bar is next to the Ukrainian Center because it's literally the same music gets louder when they leave the bar and go into the Ukrainian Center.
Well, that's assuming that that's the bar music and not scoring music.
Would they score nice and quiet background music and then it gets louder as if it's playing over the PA in
I
the
don't
place where they are?
I
Because
don't
that's
know.
what happened.
Maybe.
So, and it also went from I'm going and I'm there. You know, usually like there'd be more than that. I still.
I
think
am
that my
way
theory-
too high to answer this question.
I watched that a couple of times and it really felt like they were like there was like maybe the back door of the bar goes to the back of the Ukrainian Center or something like that. Like that's what it felt like.
You know-
they went through a door, down a corridor, and then they were in the other place.
You know how sometimes when you have a Spotify playlist and you'll play it and it'll play on your computer? Maybe it's playing in both places at the same time.
Maybe.
Oh,
But like the guys were there thinking they were gonna have a really quiet night and that no one would bother them, and then everybody else showed up.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
that was the other part.
Could be.
Okay. I loved Jim Dickens hitting his head on the light when he stood up. That was like perfect body comedy for me because like nobody seemed to notice except for Dan, who was sitting right next to him, and like nobody else reacted, and Dan was like, "Ugh," so you kind of like, was that on purpose? But it was amazing.
love that one.
I love that Professor
Professor
Professor Trisha
Professor.
can- she cannot stop staring at Wayne's butt when he gets up next to her. He's
Wait.
facing away from her and she is looking
What?
down at his butt, and he like hikes his pants and she is looking at his butt, and he turns around and she's like, yes, Like there is a very obvious, like I didn't notice it until literally the last time, and then I kept stopping and I'm like, she's looking at his butt. Yeah, she's looking right at his butt. And there she's, oh, I almost got caught. Like
That's funny.
so I
I
liked that.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, I
This
never
is-
noticed
This is
that.
what happens when I've watched it like 50 times. Right. Awesome. Put Awesome's comment on there.
Awesome would always look at
Hi, Awesome.
even when she's not watching Letterkenny, she is looking
True
at
story.
Wayne's butt in her mind.
And I am in the Discord group to prove it. All right, and then this next sequence that I wrote down is just basically how everyone reacted to Wayne getting up and talking at the end. Like, so I wrote, Dickens already looks like he's in his feelings. Dan's starting to look sympathetic. Once he starts talking, Riley and Jonesy look very confused. Rold looks lovingly at Stuart. Dan nods. Dan and Stuart look like they're gonna cry. And then the next time we see them, they're half crying, running out to go and talk to the people that they love. And I love that, like, every time it would go back to the group, there would be more empathy or sadness or love on each one's face. It was like, I love that they are able to do that.
Well, in the final one where he's talking to Katie, I was watching Rosie.
Oh man, so I have a theory about that too.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I have a lot about
I
this
was
episode.
too.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I don't mean
you're
to-
good.
I'm s-
My theory about the ending is that it was not, the last page was not given to everybody. So not everybody knew what was going to be said and what was going to be done. Like the Katie and Rosie standing there, like they knew there was going to be something, and it looked like genuine, like, oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Like Michelle Milet has actual tears in her eyes. What's Rosie's name?
Clark Bacco.
Like she turns away and immediately her hands are coming up, and then everybody goes and runs over. Like I think the hug might have been scripted. Like Wayne's gonna come in and something's gonna happen.
He's gonna say some stuff that he loves about
and then
Katie.
you're gonna all hug.
Yeah.
And their reaction, so to me, really looked like they were like, okay, don't let them know what's gonna be said here. And that immense show of emotion that Wayne has never done on the show before, just because everybody is so close to that character. It made everybody, and it made us cry watching it the first time. It was just so beautiful and so completely Wayne, and in my head, so completely canon autistic behavior. Like, you can ask Dean if I'm really worked up about something, I need to get it all out, and then it's like, I love you. And that's exactly what Wayne was like. He's like, I'm holding everything. I need to tell you. I need to get this out. Happy International Women's Day. It was so beautiful. I love that. Okay, anyway.
It really was. Yeah, I agree totally. It was something so kind of out of character for Wayne that we're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved seeing it, and yeah, that look from Rosie, maybe I was looking at it wrong, but I can't describe it. But it looked like she was like happy that Wayne acknowledged his sister.
Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, because when I saw her,
Like,
I mean, it
finally.
was like, yeah, she smiled, and then as she could see his emotion, her lip came out,
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
and she goes,
that's
"Oh,"
me too. I do
she
that.
goes, "That." She's like, "Oh, this is big."
Yeah. Like, oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because
so yeah,
yeah.
so right as soon as Katie goes to hug him, she just scampers right over and grabs on too. So yeah,
It was
Yeah,
so beautiful.
yeah.
And like those last two scenes for me really make this one of easily in my top 3 episodes of this show. And like nothing has broken into the top 3 in
yeah,
a couple of years.
yeah,
So
yeah. I agree.
like, yeah.
Same here. I agree. And but honestly, I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something?
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Sorry.
That's all right. Go for it.
Cool. Thank you. For me, honestly, it was, as drunk as she was, Mrs. McMurray's speech and her, and I've told you this before, Dean, but it's, that kind of hit me, mostly because she was like coherent enough to say a lot of stuff.
She got some of the words wrong, but like the words were
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very graceful.
I am very graceful.
I'm very grateful.
You are not very graceful at all.
Oh,
I mean, I couldn't walk in those shoes, so I couldn't walk sober in those
that is
shoes.
not, we are the same. But I really liked that she actually was, and for that to me was kind of like more than the Katie moment, which I loved. I loved it so much. But that was a little bit more, I think, because of like, oh well, we were here for each other, we were there for each other, and all of this.
And we're all winners and in this together. And yeah.
Exactly. And
Got each
just
other's
that,
backs.
yeah, that meant so much more to me. And then my eyes started sweating.
Yep.
My eyeballs are leaking.
Yeah, I really like that. Honestly, I know that what Wayne said meant a lot to Katie, but that part, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fine.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the emotions that felt genuine. It wasn't like they were just trying to ramp up. I mean, that felt real. So, and I mean, I think it helps that there's a cast who, from all accounts, loves each other
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
They are fucking family, more than family, I would say. So yeah, that I could see that, and I think probably they brought in these two writers that they did probably to add that flavor that that it's
They knew they couldn't do it on their own.
Right.
They wanted to make sure they did it right.
right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it was a great episode, and I hope to see more like it. I hope to see more Professor Trisha.
I actually have
I
one
do
more.
too.
Oh, sure.
I love
Let's wrap
her.
this up.
Oh
I got one
yeah.
more. Okay, so this one is my wannabe headcanon, of course. So given the amount of devotion that Roald has for Stuart, I'm constantly wondering if they are on the down low and like open. Like if they're in a non-monogamous relationship that Stuart refuses to admit in public. Because like the way Stuart talked, or the way Roald talked to him was like, Celine Dion, like Celine Dion, fell in love with somebody that, that society didn't think that, he's talking about Stuart this whole time, and Stuart knows this, and Stuart is uncomfortable, like looking around, and I just, in my head, I'm going, is he looking around going, does anybody believe this? Because we don't talk about this. I'm still in the closet. Like, that's what it felt like. And then he immediately gets up and starts over flirting, or not immediately, but like he gets up and starts over flirting, in a way that is so very classically Stuart. Like I feel like there's.
I like how he
there's more
introduced.
there.
I like how he introduced himself
3
to
times?
her as Stuart.
Still Professor Trisha.
Stuart.
Still Trisha. Yeah.
So yeah, that was
Stuart.
my last one. That just I feel like they have some kind of unspoken relationship that is more than just a one-sided.
All right. Well, could be.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
I honestly, I agree. There's got to be something there.
I don't know if it's a relationship necessarily. I think maybe
but there's something.
I think there may be some friends with benefits type of things
Right,
happening.
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
relationship does not
exactly.
necessarily mean that
Yeah.
it's like they love each other. I mean, Roald obviously loves Stuart.
Yeah.
Like Roald is in love
Yeah.
with Stuart. I think that Stuart, in his own way, loves Roald. But I don't think Stuart is comfortable with loving Roald. Like that's basically what I kind of.
Great.
Or yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes,
I'm
I
sure
agree.
there's
I'm
fanfic out
with
there
you.
already
Aaron.
written.
I'm sure Awesome has written part of it.
Probably.
Anything else that we want to talk about here? So,
I think we're ready.
all right. Well, I mean, I wanted to say, I want to see more Nazneen Contractor as Professor Trisha. I thought she was great.
Yes.
Because I like that they have more women characters coming in, more characters of color. That's always good. I love having Tanis in, whenever she can be there.
Oh, yeah.
She's always fun. And Jess Salguero, I love her. What else? The season just hit. It was a hit. The entire season was great. It's probably one of the best seasons. Not the episode, but the season I think was entirely awesome. So, I love it. So, if we are ready, do you have anything else, Aaron, before we move on to the next thing?
No, I just want to say thank you.
Okay. Well,
We're not
we're
quite
not
done.
done yet.
Not
'cause
quite
we're now because we're now going into
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. My bad.
Fight Ferda. So, fight Ferda.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck Fight Ferda. It's okay. It's our version of Fuck Marry Kill, where we don't want to kill anybody, but we want to.
I turned to
we don't want to
curse,
marry them.
but
It's all right. So yeah, we don't want to kill anybody. We don't want to marry anybody, but we will fight them.
Yeah.
We will fuck them, or
got
they're
it.
going to be our buddies. So,
Yeah.
so that's how we do this, and we do
Got
it
it.
for every
Got it.
character that's in the episode. So now,
I panicked.
granted,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's all right. You don't need to worry about it. It's all good. So, so I'm going to start this one with the ladies. So we're going to start off with Miss Katie. And so now, Aaron, I know you haven't played this before. So usually we do it just for the episode. Who would you fuck? Who would you fight? Who's your buddy? Out of all these, and we go through each one, and you choose. Now, granted, you haven't been on here before, so if you have somebody that is always on your fuck list, but maybe this episode they're not,
Or they're not in this episode.
or they're not in this episode, so it's drop them. That's
First
fine.
timers
Bring
get
it. Bring
a
it.
little
Yeah,
special.
exactly.
Like
So-
me, I have to be about this episode because I talk about them every single episode.
If you want, you can also do just this episode.
True story.
That's fine as well. So, but we're going to start off with Katie Tiara.
Katie. I love how subdued Katie is in this episode, that she's not one of the centers of attention. It's very rare that Katie is in an episode and not highlighted strongly. So, but while I love Katie, there is nothing in this episode that makes me want to get out of Ferda. So I'm going to say Ferda.
So Ferda for Katie. And you, Aaron, or are you on Katie?
Yeah, I'm Ferda too.
All right. That's fine.
It's just, yeah. She's just, she's amazing. She's wonderful, but she's just.
That's all right. Rosie.
Beautiful, lovely, absolutely monogamous with with Wayne.
Maybe they're making their one tour to McMurray Island and they're going hot for slot 2022.
No?
No.
All right.
Oh.
You never know.
Christ.
It could be that one time.
No, McMurray.
All right.
I mean, if Wayne and Rosie together were like, "Hey, we saw you across the bar and we like your vibe," I could be into that, but we saw you across movies.
So what are you saying?
Ferda.
All right.
I said Ferda already.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because I will say, because in my opinion, if you can say that, let's assume
No,
that
in an anytime, there are several, like, if I were to meet those characters in real life,
Yeah, yeah.
there are several that I could potentially be down to fuck.
all right,
In this episode, Ferda.
all right, fine.
Okay.
Aaron, where are you with Rosie?
She's hot. She's smoking
Yeah.
hot.
Oh yeah.
You know, and she's hot. She's a badass. She's a nice person. Mary.
No, we're not. You fuck fighter Ferda. There's no Mary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Ferda.
Ferda. All right,
No.
that's fine.
Ferda's great.
Ferda,
No,
I'm
Ferda's
sorry.
like Ferda boys.
for the
You know,
friends, for
it's
the
it's
guys,
buddy.
for the-
They're your buddies.
Yeah.
You're doing it for your friends.
Oh, no.
I got your back.
It's fine.
So fuck her.
Oh, no,
Oh fuck. Oh
There
okay.
you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. All
You're
right.
like, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Rez
get
is
you.
hot. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, yeah.
There is no need to be
Hi.
sorry about that. Dean,
Yeah.
I think Clark.
In
I
a
think Clark
in a
Bacco is on
goddamn
like
heartbeat.
Dean's laminated list, so it's all good.
All right. Bonnie McMurray.
Like, I'm never really a huge fan of Bonnie McMurray, and this episode I'm genuinely confused why all of the women in the beginning were like, like I don't quite get that.
Bonnie McMurphy.
Right. I do love that she advocated to wear her comfy cozies. So I'm gonna say Ferda on that
Yep.
alone. Like I will pajama pants and comfy sweater with you anytime.
Hell yeah. Aaron?
Yeah, I'm going with Bonnie McMurphy.
You're gonna Ferda? Whoop. All right.
Ferda.
Okay.
All right. So from there we go to Tanis. Tiara.
I would like Tanis and Emma together in a fuck.
All right. I'm gonna put
Right?
fuck
Emma's
'em-
the bro dude girl,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep. And you, Aaron? Where are you on Tanis?
Damn it. I love Janice, but I love her. What are my options again? I'm sorry.
Fuck. You can fuck her, you can fight her, or she's just your buddy and you say Ferda.
I'll fight Janice. I don't give a shit.
You gonna fight her?
No.
You're not gonna fight Tanis? Come on.
Hey,
Which is it?
Ferda.
Ferda. All right. Ferda.
Oh, Ferda.
All
Ferda.
All right. What
I just thought
about
about that. I'm like, oh fuck.
what about Emma, the bro dude? Well, Tiara already
did.
said fuck for Emma, so we're
But only in that specific.
well, that's fine. No, you said fuck, and it's marked as fuck.
Okay.
You cannot unfuck.
All right.
You cannot unfuck.
I got
them.
it.
So, Aaron,
Just like a real
are you
life.
fucking? Are you
Ferda.
fighting? Or you Ferda? All right, Gaylor, Gaylor.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right.
'Cause she sounds fun.
All right, that's fine. Jump on her.
Like,
Get it.
She would. She
But
does seem
I'm-
like
I'm-
she would be a lot of fun, but
Yeah, but I'm
she would
wearing
seem
I'm wearing every like protective thing and taking every protective charge.
Oh,
Because she seems like she hangs
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
you never know. You never know. Yeah, Ferda. I want to know where she got that dress,
Ferda.
and then we could go dancing together. Because,
Alright.
like, yeah,
All right. Marianne.
I want to lose my fingers in her hair.
I want to lose my. Sorry. What?
Yeah. I'm gonna say Ferda for this specific episode.
All right.
How about you, Aaron?
Ferda.
Ferda on Marianne. What about Lucianne?
Ferda.
Ferda.
Aaron.
Ferda.
Mia Sophia.
I'm gonna say Ferda because I don't want to fight her, but I definitely don't want to fuck her.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's
about that. I mean, I think that character is just like her whole point is to drip sex, and it just doesn't work for me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aaron, are you
she
Ferda
seems
as
a
well?
little aggressive.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, yeah. Ferda.
Mrs. Mac. Tiara.
Man, she was really cute in that blue dress with the crimped hair.
Druckers.
If consent
Oh my God,
was able
Tiara?
to be given,
If
consent was able to be given, I would say fuck.
all right. I think she's a fully functioning alcoholic.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Aaron, where are you with Mrs. McMurray?
If I don't have to talk to her after, fuck.
All right.
Yeah,
You don't have to.
legit.
You
What?
can do the Letterkenny
Like-
leave.
She'd probably be okay with that too. She'd be like, no, it's fine. Whatever.
Somehow I got Bonnie
Yeah, I
McMurray in
saw
here
that.
twice, but so we're going to go ahead and back
Yeah.
her out. So Professor Trish's.
Oh, Bonnie McMurray.
What about
Oh,
Professor
oh.
Trisha though?
Professor
That is,
Trisha. Where,
Um, yeah.
yeah, either one of you. Who,
ahead,
what do you got, Aaron? For,
Oh,
hear?
yes. Hell yes. Wait, what is I'm sorry.
Professor Trisha.
Hello.
You want to fuck her?
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
what? What's that?
I
going
would.
on?
Definitely.
Okay, all right. There we go. I think we're getting a little bit of lag in here. So T, where are you on Professor Trish's?
Ferda.
Ferda. All right.
She kind of
Ferda.
reminds me of like.
Yeah, Ferda.
Oh, you're okay.
Okay.
All right, Wayne. We're going to the guys now. We're on to Wayne.
Oh man. Oh.
So if you got an opinion on Wayne, let's hear it.
Ferda for me. I want to
All right.
snuggle him a little bit. Like I want him to hug me. I bet I would
Okay,
feel
so
very
what is-
safe.
Fuck, fight, Ferda.
Yeah. It's yeah. Fuck and Ferda an option.
You either fuck. It's
Yeah.
one of them. You pick fuck, fight, or Ferda. So you're probably not going to fight Wayne. So is it going to be your buddy, and you're going to say Ferda, or are you going to fight? Or are you going to fuck him?
Fuck.
All right, there
Sorry,
we go.
I'm Seagull right now. So
It's all right.
You can fuck every single one of them without
Ferda.
saying sorry.
There's
nothing wrong
There's
with that
nothing to
whatsoever.
apologize for.
I am married for
Thank
how
you.
many
Thank
years,
you.
and I am still like, oh no, you could fuck whoever you want.
Let's get on to Derry.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes.
He's probably out of his barn clothes.
Was he out of his mind?
I'm trying to remember.
But
I don't think he.
Fuck.
Awesome. Are you still paying attention? Was he in his barn clothes?
Yeah,
Damn it.
I don't give a
remember.
shit.
think he
Oh fuck. I'm sorry.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
no,
fuck,
you go
fuck
for
Derry.
it.
Fuck Derry. Yeah,
Go
go
for
for it.
I don't-
Ferda for me.
Yeah,
for
I
Derry.
I
I don't
love-
give a fuck. I will fuck Derry.
Good,
All right.
good.
Squirrely Dan.
Oh man, like I'm saying Ferda because I love the way that
Ferda.
Professor Trisha kind of smacked down his like teacher's petty wannabe. Like yeah, it could have been fight on that one because like Dan gets annoying to me sometimes.
He was out of the boiler suit.
Okay.
Yeah. Ferda.
And Awesome says she's fucking Derry too.
Hell yeah.
So. All right.
Did you
so,
say Ferda for Dan there?
Ferda for Dan. All right. So McMurray. How are we on McMurray?
I voted Ferda.
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 Oh,
Let me
Jesus
fuck other
Christ.
women. All right.
Ferda.
Jim Dickens. Where are we on Jim Dickens here?
Jim Dickens could get it.
He can get it. All right. Get it.
He could get it.
Oh yeah.
He
Oh,
admires
hell
so
yeah.
many women.
Hell yeah.
He does. He does.
He admires so many women.
All right. Stuart.
He loves women. I love it. Stuart.
Yeah, he
yes.
does.
Stuart.
Sturt's complex. I
It's
kind of want to
kind
smack him. Go ahead.
Yeah. but I kind of want to stay away from him. Like, I might want to have sex with him, but he seems kind of dirty.
You could give him a shower, hose him
It's
down.
true. He looked really good when he cut his hair.
Yeah, with his little
No, no, he's getting a 5. Fuck him. No.
You're not gonna fuck him.
I'm
You're gonna fuck him or
sorry.
fight him. You're gonna fight him.
I will fight him.
You'll fight him. All right.
Yes.
All right. Roldy.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna
I
further
love
Roldy because
Roldy.
I want to
I
hug
love
him.
Roldy.
How
Right?
can you not love Rold? Rold's awesome. So, assuming he was swinging that way, Aaron, would you fuck Rold? Would you fight him, or is he your buddy?
Buddy.
Buddy.
Ferda.
Ferda. And finally, Riley and Jonesy, because they are a single unit. Did we choke you up on that? You want to be a Riley Jonesy Tinderella?
I'm gonna be, I'll be okay. I'm sorry. Hi.
Hi. You're all good, babe.
Hi.
So is that Ferda or fucking? What are you doing with Riley and Jonesy there?
Oh, I fuck him.
All right,
Yeah.
get after it.
I'm gonna say Ferda
Yeah.
because I like that they're open to learning things.
Yes, agreed. Did I miss anybody? I think that's all of
I
them.
think that's everybody.
I think I got everybody. That was a long list.
That was
Yeah, one of the longer ones.
almost the entire
Yeah,
cast.
there
in
was
this
no
one.
there was no Glenn, no Coach.
Right.
Yeah, that's out of the regulars.
Alexander and
Well, I mean, out of the regulars.
right, yeah. Out of the regulars, that was everybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because there's no Dax and Ron, no Alexander. Yeah, lots of them that are no dicks. So anyway, final thoughts of everything here. Anything? Anybody?
No, like I was
No?
saying before, this is easily in my top favorites. I loved this episode, and I know that there is so long until the next season comes out, but I'm just so.
Well, we got Shorzy to look
We do
forward
have
to.
Shorzy coming up, and we have the table reads we're going to be
Yep.
doing, so that's really exciting. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that, actually. Especially when we do some of my favorite episodes.
Awesome says the two people who could have really used Professor Trish's lessons are Glenn and Coach.
I would agree with you on that, honestly. Coach, yeah, man, that could have gone a whole different way, though.
Yeah. I my admiration for my dead wife Barb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Glenn. Well, he had Jenny,
Well, I think
which
with
he would not
Glenn-
give her any vaginal intercourse.
I think with Glenn, it would be more like, yes, you too can be a sexual harasser.
What? Anyway,
That's why I was like, ooh, those two could have taken it into a whole different direction. All right.
all right. Anything else before we put a bow on this thing?
Can I just say that it was such an honor, and thank you so much for
Yeah.
inviting me onto this podcast, and I really appreciate it. And you guys are amazing, and I just can't thank you guys enough.
Oh,
thank
Also-
you're more than welcome.
Also, if it's cool, if I shout out my cousin Casey.
Of
Hell
course.
yeah. Do it again.
Shout out to who?
My cousin Casey. She loves Letterkenny.
Hey, Casey.
Hi, Casey.
She loves it. So I just wanted to shout her out and thank you. Also, DFAM. Well, love you.
Very good.
All right.
All right.
That's
Well,
it.
all right. If that is it, then I guess I will go ahead and let's do this thing here, shall we? thanks so much for joining us again as we talk about this show that we all love so much. Thanks to our awesome new friend, Erin Ullery, for joining us. It was great having her here. As always, we're extremely grateful to our friends over at No One Sphere for their awesome music. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Bandcamp, Instagram, Tidal. I think they're on that other one that we don't talk about. Anyway, so we will see you all back here again on April 7th, 7 p.m. Pacific, that's 10 p.m. Eastern, as we get together with our good buddies over at the Produce Stand to do a live table read of the Letterkenny pilot script. So we'll see you then, DJs. Take care now.